Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. Or is it good morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is I am True Sports. My name is Pioneer. I'm here. Hello, good morning, and 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 good morning again. A little bit rushed, a little premature here. My name is Pioneer, and we're here today, people. We're discussing some track and field this morning. Um, we're in post World Championship mode, and we also here to do a preview of the Zurich Diamond League, which is on today. Um, Track and field season is in high gear. Coming off the World Championships, and some amazing performances. Some great highlights for the Jamaican masses. Uh, some great performance for the Jamaican masses. Uh, on the back of that, going into Zurich, we are expecting a continuation of some other great performances from both our Jamaican athletes and other athletes across the world. It's track and field season, people. But before we get into what happened, what will be happening in Zurich, I want to, just take a brief look back at some of what happened um, in Budapest. Before we get to Zurich, let's take a glance back at what happened in Budapest. I heard the commentator said he thinks it's the best ever world championship. I'm not sure I'm in total agreement with that. What I will agree to is that it was indeed a great world championship. Some great performances. Some standout performances. Some comeback stories. Some redemption stories. From a Jamaican perspective, some disappointment, some redemption stories from a Jamaican perspective also, some new discovery. From a Jamaican perspective, we saw what I consider glimpse of hope for the future. You know, Jamaica ended the championship with 12 medals, 3 gold in the 400 meter for ladies. Sherika Jackson in the 100 meter for ladies, Daniel Williams, and young Antonio Watson in the 400 meter. Somewhat disappointing that we lost the coveted 100 meter crown. From a Jamaican first standpoint, we have come to almost think that we own this title. We have been dominating for some time. Shelly and Crazy have been won 5 world championships straight, and us winning the last 4 Olympic titles. And there's a point where we thought we were the queens, or we had the queens of the spring. However, on this occasion, we lost out to Shakara Richards and the Americans. So all in all, I think that with everything, all things considered, I think it was indeed a good world championship for Jamaica. Disappointment or not. I'm hoping that those athletes that had disappointing performances or had injuries in this indicator of Broadwell, he fell in the hurdle. I'm hoping that these athletes will use it as fuel to come back better in the next year in the Olympics. Same thing for young Hibbert in the triple jump. Hoping that we'll see him rise to the occasion and come back better next year. Kind of disappointing that 40-70 that he jumped in the qualifying round was even surpassed in the final by the eventual winner. But such is sports and such is life, where you have to do it when it matters most. And I want to say, the young Hibbert, we'll see you next year, my brethren. I'm sure that you'll be much better next year than you were this year. And we should see you raising the title next year. All right, so I want to be with my little people. Just trying to figure out some information here that I'm looking at. Should be joined by a couple of friends. Should be joined by a couple of friends later. Should be joined by the man. Should be joined by the man, Chris Lynch. Should be joined by the man, Chris Lynch. I was expecting to be joined by Preacher. And my Virgin National has promised that it's a while that we haven't talked any. It's a while we haven't talked any track and field, and he wants to be here with us, talking some track and field. So expecting those gentlemen to join us later. But in the meantime, I'm going to put up with me and me alone. All right, people, talking my regular foolishness, as them would say. But so let's just take a brief look back. And people, join the stream. We ask that you share the stream as you come in. We also ask that you jump in the comment section and let us have some dialogue. Tell me, your general views of your highs and lows of the recently concluded World Championships. Tell me your highest point for Jamaica and tell me your lowest point. And feel free to drop any other comments that you might think you wanna, anything else that you think you want to comment on. So we can start having some dialogue regarding the World Championship. Just starting out a few things here, ladies and gentlemen. Pulling up schedule at the Zurich Diamond League and browsing back to some information from the World Championship, so we can engage in this World Champs review and Zurich Diamond League preview. All right. For me, let me start with myself. Big up in our country, man. Respect my brethren. Good for you to be here with me. Country, tell me your highs and lows of the World Championship. Tell me where you think we have great potential for the future. Tell me where you think Jamaica's track and field has cause for concern. Tell me if you think that, like I think, the future will be bright going forward. I must comment that some time ago I mentioned, Mannings and I were talking, and I made mention of Jamaica becoming what I consider to be a true track and field nation. I was saying that there are three events that Jamaica hasn't started participating in it, and I need mention of the javelin, the hammer throw, and the pole vault. Well, to my surprise, in watching the hammer throw, I saw Jamaican participation in the hammer throw, and that, to me, that is a great thing. That says Jamaica, we are growing, we are expanding, and it's only a matter of time. Anything, as you know, anything Jamaican start participating in, it's only a matter of time, people, before we start dominating and we start doing exceptional work. Because it's a Jamaican way for us to rise to the occasion. All right, I'm going to start with my disappointment from the World Championship. And Broadbell falling in the hurdle was somewhat disappointing, but I don't consider that a disappointment from me. All right, Jaden Hibbert injury, I consider to be disappointing, but I don't consider that to be a disappointment. All right. All right, country. Here's a country. Taluba and around here. You might be right. She has had a tough, such an illustrious career, and I wouldn't say the flag is there or the trophy covered is there. A silver medal in the 100 meter, bronze medal in the 100 meter, and that's at the World Championship, and a silver medal in the 400 meter to show for her trouble. She has had a stellar career, being one of the best athletes of this year, with certainly countryman, but you know, not having the requisite medals to show for her exploits. I was commenting about my disappointment for the World Championship. As I say, while it's disappointing on the part of Hibbert and Broadbell, I don't consider those to be disappointments on my part. For me, a great disappointment was not medaling in the men's 4x4. That was a great disappointment. A bit disappointing also was having been picked in the women's 4x4. That for me was disappointing. I wouldn't say it was a disappointment. I think in that case, Jamaica could consider ourselves unfortunate to be beaten by what I consider to be a superior athlete. Not even a superior relating people. We were beaten by a superior athlete in that 4x4 for women. Fencable, came back to seek redemption, having fought day one in the mixed relays. That was disappointing for her. But such is the nature of sports that, there's always a comeback story whenever, I just you fall, what you should do is pick yourself up. Country is saying that clarification needed from the powers that be about the relay debacle. And I'm suggesting, country, that I'm thinking, country, that you're suggesting, are you talking about the mixed relays in particular. Somewhat disappointed. Well, that was a disappointment for me. I'm not sure, country, if you're also speaking about this women's 4x1, that we got some amount of explanation to and for. We were told that Sharika Jackson, based on everything that in her history, in her past, could not run any other leg except the ankle leg, having not being very comfortable, or she's not very comfortable handing off a baton in a 4x1. She does it in the 4x4, but in a 4x1, it is said that she is somewhat uncomfortable handing off the baton in the 4x1. Hence, her having been placed on the ankle leg, as that is the only leg that is fit for her to run because of her discomfort handing off a baton. All right. So that left 3 legs. All right. Shelly and Fraser Price, as we have heard all season, is struggling with a knee injury. All right. It affects her pushing out of the block, which eliminated her from the start. But also, her knee issue prevents her from running the curve. So if Shelly cannot run the start leg, she cannot run the curve, and she obviously cannot run the anchor leg because Sherika Jackson, because of her limitations, can only run that leg. And that only leaves the back stretch for Shelly to run. And for me personally, I've always thought that was the leg for Shelly and Fraser Price to run on our race. We saw her in 2019 with a weak Jamaican 4x1 women's field, run the back stretch and put us in a very, very advantageous position. And we won that relay in 2019. All right, that team was made up of Natalia White on first leg, Jenna Smith on the third leg, and Sherika Jackson, who at the time was not a sprinter, but was still doing the 400 meters. And we saw, because of Shelly's backstretch leg in that relay field, we saw that we had an amazing result in 2019 where we won the gold. All right, in a pretty good time also. All right, not the fastest time, not a world championship record, but considering the makeup of the team at the time, I think that was a good result for us and they ran creditably. So since then, I've always thought Shelly and Fraser's best position for me should have been the backstretch. All right, subsequent to that, we used her on the third leg in the Olympics in Tokyo in 2021, and we also used her on the third leg again in 2022 in Eugene. We won at the Olympics in Tokyo, but much to a lot of our disappointment, we did not get the world record. We ran a national record, 41.03 at the time. A good time, but considering the makeup of our team, 3 ladies who were running 10.7s, one was actually running 10.6, and 2 other ladies were running 10.7. And Brianna Williams at the time, who was in 10.8 form, I think he could have gone much faster, threatening the world record, or probably breaking the world record, or even going much closer to the world record. I personally expected a time under 41 seconds from that team, but it didn't happen. And I think pattern passes, and for me, keep running in the wrong way. Because I've always thought that Elaine Thompson's best leg for me is the leg that she ran in 2015, which was the curve. All right, so I thought we actually have picture around Shelly and Elaine on that relay team, and we would have gotten a much better result. We tried to decide 3 of those ladies in the same position again from 2021. We tried them in 2022 in Eugene, only replacing Brianna Williams with Femba Nelson, and that didn't work out so well for Jamaica. We lost the gold medal to the US, what I thought was a very weak US team that shouldn't have beaten us. All right, so now we are in 2023 again, and I just gave you the ramifications with Shelly's injuries and her being limited to running the back stretch, which for me was the right way. All right, however, subsequent to that, in the semifinals, we saw Elaine Thompson running the back stretch, taking a handoff from Brianna Williams, and running a very, 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 very creditable leg. And because of that, some persons said that Elaine earned her space on the back stretch. However, now, and consider all things considered, because of Shelly's limitation, we thought, now here comes, we have to shift around, and now we have to put Elaine on the curve. Because she's not the best starter either. The anchor leg is gone to Sherika Jackson. The back stretch is gone to Shelly because of her limitations and injuries. Now Elaine has to run the curve. However, unfortunately, Elaine was also carrying a hamstring injury, which limited her from, will cause her to be unable to run the curve, not wanting to, aggravate her injury, re-aggravate her injury. So, now we are left with a situation where, we have choices to make. the obvious choice, and I think this was a safe choice that the powers that he made, considering that Elaine was one of the automatic 1, 2, 3, 4 qualifiers to the team. She actually finished fifth at the trial. The obvious choice here would have been to exclude Elaine. I guess they could have gone with excluding Shelley, but I'm sure that a lot of persons would have been up in arms if that was done. And for me personally, based on history, and this is a little bit of history I'm going to give you, Jamaica has 8 of the top 13 times in the 4x1 all time. All right, the US has the number 1 time, the US has the number 2 time, Jamaica has the number 3 time, which is the time I just mentioned just now, 41.03, 41.02, sorry. The US has 40.82, which is the world record. In 2016, they also ran 41.01, which is the second fastest time. Jamaica has the third fastest time of 41.02, which we won at the Olympics in 2021. The US has the fourth fastest time of 41.03, which they ran this time. And then Jamaica has 7 of the other 9 fastest times. All right, and surprise, surprise, people, Shelley and Fraser Price has run on all 8 Jamaican times that are in the top 30. Jamaica has 8 of the top 13 4x1 times in history, and Shelley and Fraser Price has run on every single one of those videos. So for me, there's no way I would be leaving on Shelley and Fraser Price of any Jamaican really. All right, so an obvious choice there would be Elaine or Shelley on the back stretch, and for me, I think the powers that be went for what they thought was the safe choice, the better choice. Shelley had run 10.77 in the finals of the 100 meter. Elaine, on the other hand, had not broken 11 seconds all season. I don't think many persons, would argue with them, including Shelley, over Elaine. And with the limitations of Elaine, and she heard not finishing in the top 5 of the trial, that made it easier for the powers that be to make the decision to exclude her from the relay team. And we know the result. I think I have advocated a lot for relay practices of Jamaica. I've oftentimes said that we lose these relays because of lack of practice. All right, and well, unfortunately still for me, I don't know if I say unfortunately, but this is one of the times that I would not blame button hand off and lack of practice and not losing this one. What was obvious to me and obvious for all to see was that Shelley and Fraser Price sustained an injury midway that leg. Obviously an hamstring injury. I heard only yesterday that she was thinking of calling an early end to her season because of that obvious injury. She had a couple of commitments or races that she had mentioned after the 100 meter, but having sustained this hamstring injury, I understand it's a grade 1 hamstring tear. Thinking that will mean that she'll be ending her season early, trying to get ready for the next season. And I think that injury, people, was the obvious cause of us losing the relay. I think if Shelley was healthy and had run through her leg and had a smooth handoff to Sasha Lee Forbes, I think we would have gotten the button ahead of the Americans, and it would have been left to be seen if Shakara Richardson could chase down and pass Sherika Jackson on that conflict. So all in all, a bit disappointing for me again, but not a disappointment. All right. In hindsight, for that relay, I think what we could have or should have done different is that maybe Shelley and Fraser Price should have only run one leg after that relay, all things considered, and save yourself for the final. Not one leg, one round of the relay. You should have probably saved yourself for the final. Natasha Morrison who did not run in the first round, was a healthier athlete than Shelley. She ran less races than Shelley up to that point because she had only run 2 rounds at the 100 meter. Shelley having run 3 rounds at the 100 meter, carrying an injury into the championship. For me, the obvious thing, and all of this is in hindsight, was that Shelley and Fraser probably should have been rested for the finals, and we should have used Natasha Morris in the heats, and I'm sure she would have been good enough to help the team to qualify comfortably. And so, as I say, a bit disappointing that we lost out on that gold medal, but not one of the disappointments for me from the World Championship. The men's 4x4, as I said, is my probably most disappointing result of the World Championship from a Jamaican standpoint. Having the 400 meter champion, having 2 men in the 400 meter final. Mind you, Sean Bailey picked up an injury and couldn't run on the 4x4 in the 4x4 final. But even with that, I still think we had enough firepower to have gotten a medal. At one point, I thought we had enough firepower to even win that relay, considering the weakness of the American team, because obviously they didn't have, the firepower that they would have or the foot speed that they would have from previous years. I thought they were vulnerable this year. I thought Jamaica they were right for the picking. Jamaican and Cape coming into the finals of the 4x4, the Jamaican team looked like a team that could contend for the gold medal. A couple of disappointments. First one being a less than spectacular first leg by Rasheen McDonald, who ran 44.7 in the heat. On the first leg also, helped us to qualify comfortably. However, only ran 45.1 in the finals, and a bit disappointing. And I'm seeing a comment that Shelley should have anchored, but we're going to address that. All right? We're going to address that in a little while, man. But I'm going to ask you a question, and I want your text to respond to me. Just as well, all right? You heard what I just said about Sharika. And I see a man inciting that Sharika should have run the third leg. But as I've stated, the coaches have said it. It is out there in track and field world that Sharika Jackson has an issue handing off the baton. Obviously, Jamaica, they're not engaged in a lot of relay practices. There are some of us who think that Jamaicans should not engage in relay practices before people contest their individual events. There are some of us, by myself, who have a view that Jamaica should be engaged in more relay practices, even pre-World Championships and pre-Olympics. Some persons disagree with that view, stating that persons should not sacrifice time from their individual events to participate in relay practice. So, if the situation is, and it still is, I wouldn't say was, the situation is that Sharika Jackson is uncomfortable handing off the baton, then how do we run her on the third leg without extensively practicing that? And in this particular World Championships, people, the situation that was occurring was that Sharika Jackson participating in the 100 meters and the 200 meters would have little or no time during the course of the World Championships to practice with the relay team. The finals of the 200 meters was run after the heats of the 100 meters, the 4x100 meters. So the 4x100 meter heats occurred on the third to last day in the evening session, and the 200 meter finals closed out that day, which means Sharika Jackson's final event, individual event, would come after the heats of the 4x100 meters. which means that any practice you'll be practicing with the team would have to be the following day, which was the day that the 4x100 meter final was going to be run. So unless you were going to wake up Sharika Jackson early in the morning after 4x1 final and say, listen, you need to go and do some handoff practice so that you can run the third leg, then I don't know how we'll do it. Because, so, man is just saying, you're saying, and Shelley had an issue with her knee, give her the ankle leg, less pressure. I can agree with that. But then, you cannot run Sharika in a position that she's uncomfortable in. You could not do that. That would be a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. That would be us dropping the button and instead of getting a silver medal, getting no medal. And I would rather us running a makeshift team or a weaker team and getting the silver medal than running a strong team with very little button practice and dropping the button and getting no medal at all. And as I've said before, I think that we would have been right here contending for the gold medal had it not been for Shelley. And I say, in hindsight, what should have been done? I had no problem with the makeup of the team for the final, with all of the ramifications and permutations considered. However, my issue was Shelley, an injured Shelley and Fraser Price, being asked or putting herself up to run both legs at the 4x1 and both rounds at the 4x1. And I think that is, in hindsight, and we can always speak in hindsight. Nobody knew that Shelley injury would have affected her in the final. All right, so for me, I think that is where we kind of messed up. When did she practice to receive the baton from Sasha Lee? Only God he knows. Obviously, it wasn't the greatest of changes as you observed, Manny. It was the greatest of changes because if you look at that race, you saw that it was actually the handoff. It was actually the two handoffs that made a difference in Shakari Richardson getting a 2 or 3 meter lead and Sharika Jackson. Because coming into that handoff, Sasha Lee Forbes was close enough to Gabby Thomas. All right, coming into that handoff, Sasha Lee Forbes was close to Gabby Thomas, and it was only because of the superior handoff of the Americans, Gabby Thomas to Shakari Richardson, versus our handoff, Sasha Lee Forbes to Sharika Jackson, that gave Shakari that two-step advantage on Sharika Jackson. And the rest of the chief judge themselves makes no sense for us to carry over the milk that is already spilled. It is what it is. The results are in, and we have the silver medal. That's in hindsight, we can say Shelley should have only run one leg, but that is great. All right, going forward next year, I'm hoping that good sense and good sense will prevail. I'm hoping that the powers that be will see fit to take my suggestion of doing relay practices. I was surprised to hear how many Jamaicans were complaining about us using the 4x1. When before the World Championships, when I was saying, listen, the US has been engaged in practice 6 weeks before the World Championship. What is happening with Jamaica? First, we are concentrating on our individual events, and there's no way that Shelley and Fraser and Sharika Jackson should be taking time away from their individual events to practice relays and all of this stuff. I heard that ad nauseum from people on the radio, people on the internet, everywhere. We were hearing that. All right. Ironically, Shakari Richardson, who was engaged in a lot of relay practices with the US relay, with the US 4x1 relay team, won the 100 meters. So obviously, running a personal best time, actually, 10.65. So obviously, her taking a little time away from her individual training to concentrate on relay practices did little to hamper her prospect in the 100 meters. And I'm thinking that us Jamaicans could do the same thing with greater result, resulting in greater success in the relays and without taking anything away from our individual performance. And I can show you persons who engage in relay activities post-World Championship, post-Olympics, without affecting their individual performance. Actually, in some of these cases, persons did better They did their personal best and did better than they would normally do in events after engaging. So this is an argument. But going back to the 4x4 for men people, I was speaking about the disappointment of the performance of Rasheen McDonald in the final. Very disappointed with that 45-1. Rasheen McDonald has run 44-03 this season. He split 44-7 in the heats. And one day later, you come back and run 45-1. And a lot of persons, beat Rasheen McDonald for things like this. Run good in the races that don't matter. And when it comes down to the big time, he doesn't show. I was one who advocated for him to run the flat 400 meter. I thought he was better than Barnes. I was thinking that the form that he was in, I would have loved to have seen him gotten a chance. Seeing running 44.03, which still is the third fastest time this year. With even Antonio Watson winning the flat 4, still haven't surpassed that time. Rasheen McDonald is still the fastest Jamaican man over 400 meters this season. So it would have been great for me to have seen him in the flat 400 meters. All right. Maybe he would have been disappointing as he was in the finals of the 4x4. So, I would have still liked to have seen him gotten that chance to show what he could do over the flat 400 meter. But as I said, his first leg was disappointing in the 4x4 final. I think he handed over the button third or fourth. But the greatest disappointment on that relay leg, and that relay, the greatest leg, the most disappointing leg on that relay was the second leg that was run by the young hurdler Clark. Did well in the 400 meter hurdle, finished fourth, ran a national record and personal best to make it to the finals. Finished fourth, creditably fourth in the final. But ran a somewhat of a disappointing and showing his inexperience on that second leg. Got stuck in traffic. At one point, ran up in the back of our athlete, had to back off and slow down. And cost him his placing in the order of the relay. I think that leg cost us a medal in the 4x4. I think it cost us to be in contention. In looking back at the race, I don't think with the absence of Sean Bailey, who would have been one of the stronger runners, I think I said to persons after the race, can't believe that Sean Bailey was the difference between Jamaica winning a gold medal and winning and getting no medal. Because I honestly think if we had the experience of Sean Bailey and that second leg, we would have been contending with the US team as to how Antonio Watson would have feared against Roy Benjamin and that ankle leg. I would have had loved to have seen us put ourselves in a position and given ourselves the opportunity, to compete with the US for that gold medal. It's disappointing to see such a strong Jamaican 4x4 team finishing out of the medal. There's nobody that can tell me that French team or that Great Britain team. Great Britain, mind you, without the silver medal, Matthew Hutchinson, eating us out for a medal. All right, Antonio Watson got the button in fourth, and that ankle leg. Tried to make a move early. I think he could have set up the pace and finished with a flurry, giving himself a better chance to medal. But I think he went out still thinking that the gold medal was in play. At that time, we looked at where Roy Benjamin was. I think the US had obviously had the gold medal in the bag at that time. I think Watson should have run for the minor medals And if he was running for the minor medal, there's no way he should have made that move on the back stretch. I think he should have shut off the pace a little bit and try to run past both athletes going down the home stretch, similarly to what he did in the 400-meter final. But again, inexperience, I think, was at play there. He did what he thought was best, and it was to be. Struggled in finishing, couldn't get back to either the third or the second place. So, and as a result, Jamaica finished out of the medal. To the 4x1 for men, I think I'm not disappointed again. A little disappointing because I think we could have done a little better. I think we could have at least, we should have at least secured the silver medal in that occasion. But then what that brings into focus again, people, is my eternal cry. The Italian team is a team that is well drilled. It's a team that has been running together for a while. The chemistry between this team is obviously on a whole other level. Not as much foot speed as the Jamaican. All right, so let me see. Yeah, strong. Listen, don't forget fatigue. That was his 400-meter over a few days. And for sure, the are strong. Fatigue would have come into play for Antonio Watson. And that is why I think it was important for him to make the right move at the right time. Because he made that move on the back stretch, they are strong. And left very little in the tank for him to finish. So obviously, having that made that move on the back stretch and not that move didn't veer him out of foot, he didn't get past any other athlete. No, and then had to try to make another kick going down the home stretch. And with the fatigue that you have just mentioned, it left little or nothing in the tank for Watson to finish in a medal position. But as I said, it is what it is. Disappointment for me. It was quite disappointing. The 4x1, as I was discussing just now, again, people speak about the success of the Jamaican men. We have all the records in the 4x1 for men people. We have the Olympic record, which is obviously the world record, which we set in 2012. We have the World Championship record, which is the previous world record, which we set in 2011. We have all the records. We have all the records in the men's 4x1. I have argued it first. But before we get to that argument, what was obvious in that team was that there was great chemistry in that. Michael created to, whether you want to say created to Carter, because I've seen them run it in that order. The creator on the second leg, Carter on the third leg, or as we did it in the 2 world record races. As a matter of fact, 3 world record races. As we did in the 3 world records, 2008, 2011, and 2012, it was Carter on the first leg, the creator on the back stretch. And in 2008, we had Bolt on the third leg to Asafa, 37:10, world record. Then in 2011, switched up a bit, still Carter to Freighter, to Johan Blake, all right, to Usain Bolt, that was 37:04, obvious world record. And then the big one, which was in 2012, again Carter to Freighter, to Johan Blake, to Usain Bolt. By then, people, that team had developed so much chemistry. All right, now welcome a Virgin Dave to the stream. Avid track and field fan, a guru, if I might say myself, one of the men track and field.
Blessing. I'm going to turn off the instrument here because I don't want to distract you guys. So I joined the conversation, listening to the discussions on the relay, and like you, I'm struggling to see why it's so hard for Sharika to learn to hand off. I don't really see why this is such a big task to just learn to hand off. Yeah, I know she's used to anchoring from Veer days, from Girls Champs days at Veer, but it's not it's no rocket science to just learn to hand off a baton, you know. So I'm not really seeing why that was a huge issue. One of the things though that we have to notice is that even with an injured Shelley, we ran a faster time than in the heat. I don't know if that was said before, but you know, we can't ignore that. Although that could have been the Sherika Jackson effect on that anchor leg. You know, so that could have been one of the factors. But we can't ignore that we ran faster in the finals. So it shows that had Shelley been half of it, you know, very likely that world record, not just the goal, but that world record would have been under some kind of threat. Another quick point is that oh God, I lost my trail of thought. I lost my trail of thought. But generally, I'm just saying that the heat, the final was faster than that heat. So in spite of the criticisms of the team, and yeah, I agree that there could have been some adjustments, but we can't ignore the fact that we ran a pretty fast time, even with an injured Shelley. It's debatable how early Shelley got hurt. Some people say from about 40 meters into a race. I saw a video of her close up, and she looked injured from, I mean, like she was hopping from like about 30, 40 meters. So, you know, it would have been a remarkable, it would have been really interesting to see what the time would have been like had she been okay. Oh, and this is my point I was making. We still have to give her credit, because the natural thing to do that athletes are taught to do, when you feel something, stop. And the only reason Shelley never stopped was she never wanted to sacrifice a medal for the country. It's crazy. We saw Bert Cameron do it in 1984 and basically destroyed. He lost his career after that. And I don't think he ever recovered from that injury. So, you know, we just want to say big up still. But, you know, it really was a risky thing to do. Really and truly, she should have stopped. You know, but she didn't, so we give thanks to the medal.
Chris, I don't know if you have been listening. I'm big privy to the conversations that we have been having. Give me your views.
My mute pioneer, now you're.
You not hear me? You hear me now, Chris? You hear me? Because I'm hearing you clearly. I hear you. You hear me? Hold on. Mama, you hear me? You hear me, Dave? Right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. At first, I wasn't hearing you.
Yeah, but I mean, so Chris, maybe I hear my mute tonight. Chris, I don't know what's going on. Hold on, listen. You hear me now? Hold on. This will come out. But Dave, all right. My only disagreement with you, Dave, I don't think the world record would have been. We ran 41:21. World record is 40.82. I think that's a little stretch. That is, well, it's not half a second fully, but that's 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, but you look for one whole leg where the woman have through the whole of her leg, you know.
Right. But
that's how, yeah, man, that's the way I say pioneer, man. Shelley have through at least half of her leg.
I think we are. You know, honest, no dimension, Dave. I'm going to be fair. When I consider, you hear me, Chris? Chris, you hear me?
Yeah, man.
You hear me now. I hear you clear. I'll bring you in for discussion. When we consider everything, Dave, as I said, this is probably the only relay that I've seen Jamaica run that I am not blaming our lack of batting practice. I honestly think we would have won this race had it not been for Shelley. I picked Shelley and Fraser Price running through and doing what we expected her to do. I think, and people can't ignore the fact that Sasha Lee Parks did not even get a running start. Sasha Lee Parks obviously saw what
Stood
was
up.
happening and stood up. And I challenge anybody, go and look back at the race. She stood up and received the pass and then run up. So had Shelley been in full flight, especially if Forbes had gotten that running start, I honestly think that the advantage would have had going into that ankle leg. It would have been interesting to see if Sharika would allow Shakar to run her there. Because if she make that happen, then trust me, Jamaica people will probably beat her from now till next year. All right. However, I honestly think here that we could have gotten a time probably under 41 seconds. Would we have gotten the world record? I doubt that. But I think we would have gotten a much better time. Had Shelley not been injured and Sasha Lee Forbes had received that button in the flow, got a running start, and that button changed, and then handed off to Sharika Jackson. And with Shakara Richardson chasing Sharika Jackson, I think we'd have seen a much faster time from the Jamaican team, possibly a time under 41 seconds. But as I said, for me it was a disappointing, but not a disappointment. Give me your views on this.
Yeah, like you guys already lay out. Good evening or good afternoon to the viewers and Dave and the viewers. But
Yeah,
Pioneer,
man, bless Chris.
like I say, about the Sasha Lee, while we give Shelly praise because she finished the race, Sasha Lee must get a lot of praise because it's easy to panic and come out of your zone. She could have easily went out of her zone because she's expecting Shelly to reach her. And like I said, she stood up. So that was excellent from Sasha Lee. See that she got some beaten for I don't know what. I guess people it's just social media. People just go on social media and bully people. And that's not nice because obviously, if you understand what took place, Sasha Lee really did well to ensure that the button went around safely. Like I said, I would have loved to see Shelly in full flight and see where Sharika and Shakari would have ended up. Who would have come first or second? Because I think had Shelly been in full flight, that seems like it would have been an even or probably just slightly Jamaica in front. But it would have been exciting to see. So we missed out on that. But that's about it. It wasn't a disappointment, like I said, Pioneer. I expected, based on how the US was looking, that they more than likely when Shakari comes in and Gabby Thomas, it would have been the USA gold medal to lose. But like you say now, because Jamaica didn't have problems with the button, it looked like we were really gonna give US a run for their money. And Shelly not pulled up.
Well, let me just say a few things. One thing slightly disagreeing with you and Pioneer and Chris is that I don't think it would have been close had Shelley been all right. I don't think it would have been close. The truth is, you know that they almost Sharika and Shakari almost received the button at the same time. The difference is, hold on. The difference is Sharika collected the button poor.
Yeah.
She was poor at collecting the button. You understand?
That's the problem in the deal. And she has always been poor at collecting the button. Even it was a poor pass from Shelley to her. Well, not a poor pass. Because the pass can be ordinary, just the way the person received the button.
Yeah.
The pass in 2021 at the Olympics, and I think that cost us the world record, being closer to the world record. And it was again last year, it was a closer pass. Obviously, deal. Sharika has problems with the button. Then Sharika has problems with button. And here again, we come back to people. There's only one way to fix these issues.
And it's a practice.
It's a practice. And Jamaicans have this thing that we have been running, we have been passing buttons since primary school, so we shouldn't have a problem. And it's an eternal.
The truth is, Pioneer, is that Jamaicans, we think the foot speed is all and all in relays. And you see people like the Japanese and Italians and these people doing well, but they don't have anything close to our foot speed. So you have to stop and say, hold on, what is the factor that is assisting them? So just adding that had Sherika received the baton properly, this could have still been a gold medal, even with Shelley's injury. Even with Shelley's injury. You understand? So I honestly believe without Shelley's injury, would have been way ahead of them. Because TT Terry couldn't compete with Shelley on the back stretch, right? And by the time Thing there for catch Sasha on the third leg, should have handed over already. So, as it was though, Sherika really need to work on her back. She really, and it's disappointing because she has been running relays all through her life. I've been watching her from about class 3 at Veer. So she has been running relays all her life. So why up to now you still can't get this simple thing right?
So 4, receiving the pass, all right, which is the only thing that she does. Don't
right.
Receiving the pass, and she's poor at receiving the pass. Can you imagine how much poorer she would be at handing off passes, and how much trouble are we risking? If we're putting Jamaica in, we're talking about not dropping the back now, probably not getting a medal, running out of the zone, something to that effect. If we are about putting her on the third leg, where she now has to receive a button that she's poor at doing, and then go hand it off, which she has never done in her life. And for the people them who are saying we never practice none at all, but yet still I say Sherika run the third leg. I don't even understand how that works. Sherika run the 200-meter final the night before the finals of the 4x1, and all of a sudden we must move her and put her on the third leg when she never received a button, when she never handed off a button in all her life. I expect her to do well. Start the off season, April next year, when we're all in Jamaica, but practice some button changes people to see if we can get this dynamic right. Because we don't want to have a situation like this we are praying again. As we said, boy, it's what another 4x4. I gave them analysis on the men's 4x4. Tell me what you think about that. The whole situation with Russell
it's the inexperience of Clark showed on the second leg. I think Big Boy did a fear start again. 5-1, something like that. That was fear enough.
You think that fear third handing over third after running 45-7? Yeah, after running 44-7 in the first round, having a full day to rest. Now you're thinking this is the final. You're supposed to step a gear up, which
well, yeah, that's true.
You're on 44-0 here. Should be splitting at least 44-5. Giving us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
For me, at least a lead going into the second leg. If you had gotten imagine this day, if you had gotten that lead, Clark would not found himself in the traffic
that he was in.
Then that would have set us up perfectly. I'm sure that Clark being in the form that he had beat over the hurdle, probably would have handed over the button first or at least second.
Right.
Which would have.
Yeah, fair point. And I mean, this is the only race he ran for the world championship. So, he should have been hungry to prove that, look here, I'm the fastest Jamaican over this distance, even though I didn't get I wasn't able to run in the flat 4. So,
even today. So, to me, it was somewhat disappointing what we got from
yeah, you're right on that.
Some people I tell people I'm not the biggest rush, even though I advocate for him to get the spot on the individual 400 team. I'm not the biggest rusher in that. And it is things like this that make people consistently be critical and
knock him, yeah.
No matter he had an opportunity to make right imagine how much louder the cars would have been if he had run a blistering first leg and set us up well to win the 4x400 meter, to give us a chance of winning the 4x4. Saying people have been saying, see that he should have been included in the platform. But when you run a leg like that, as poor as it is, people have said, see, that is what we were talking about. That is the justification of the J3 not giving him that final spot. Even though me thinks there are other forces at play, but I run like that, gives people justification to say, to say, something to say, boy, yeah, he should not have been included in the platform. Disappointing for me.
Yeah. Barnes was not bad though. Barnes was not on. Was it Barnes on the third leg?
Barnes did well. Barnes did.
Huh?
But yeah, man, was Barnes on the third leg?
Yeah, wasn't bad. And generally, I heard your analysis of Watson's leg, and I agree. I think he should have been more aggressive on the back stretch. So you come out, go on the corner at least in a medal position, so that a man have to fight you to on the final stretch to home. So but then again, too, he's also young, inexperienced. Not really much of a relay man. Petersfield, which he's coming from, never really had nobody else really, so he never really did any relays at boys champs. So
but no donkey, he's no donkey man, you know?
Yeah. The heart of a donkey man could have really made a difference. Here.
I want to pick up a virgin who I'm seeing at the chat right now. Actually, in Mobile yesterday, and I met this gentleman personally. Oh, I'm pick up Stefan right now. The virgin see me, he identified me from me being on I Am Sure Sports. He said, listen to me on the radio a while, but he was able to facially identify me just by, I Am Sure. Pick up yourself, Stefan. Great to meet my virgin. Continue to support the channel, and we give thanks to all the positive words and the complimentary words. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. The girls 4x4 now.
Chris, more you have views on that. The women's 4x4. Go ahead.
Which one?
The women's 4x4. Yeah, me hear your analysis. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sharika said she want to break the record.
I heard her yesterday.
The 400 record.
Oh, that's a different discussion. We soon come to that.
Yeah, no, I am going to that to say that Sharika is still one of our better quarter milers.
Hold on, Chris. You remember when Million Walker said she want to go back around the 100 hurdles? And Steve that.
No, but not just days. Those were like decades apart. This is not the same thing,
Guarantee you.
Million Walker thing is decades apart, Sharika Jackson is just a couple of years apart.
Yeah,
Million Walker watching is something that when she was a youth.
But I tell you, Chris, anyhow she decides to go to that, the coach said to her, listen, and I'm going to train. Because there's no way you can be.
No, I don't think she wants to train for it, Pioneer. I think she's saying right now, because of how fast she has gotten over 200 meters.
Yeah.
She's telling her that she can still. She don't sound like she wants to go back to 400. She's just saying, if I lined up in a 400 meter race, I feel like I can break the record because of how fast I am.
All right. That's exactly.
So I don't think she wants to go back to 400. Because people run from the 400.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have thought of it that I'd love to see her against Paulino. I'm going to be honest with you. The thought has passed my mind that I'd really love to see her on that race.
All right. Let me pick up some brethren on the street. See, big up Ryan LFC. Big up number brethren. Ricky Tech. Big up Ricky Tech. Manners and respect. Zed Bez. Respect. Rob Smith. Welcome forward, my brethren. See, good to have you with us. See, Dave. I don't think I'm proud. Remember, I know. Which was it in the Olympics that she ran a leg at a 4x4?
Yeah.
She ran a leg at a 4x4 and did not do very well.
The one that we won, right?
No, man. I'm talking about since she started sprinting. I think 2020.
No.
Yep.
Since she started sprinting, she never run the leg at the 4x4. When she was running the 400, we used her on a leg of the 4x1 because I think Shelly was injured. Somebody was injured, and we used her to anchor.
Elaine, who had the injury, that was 2019. She anchored us to the victory in 2019. But please, somebody who have YouTube on them phone right now, please go back and watch and tell me if Sherika Jackson didn't run a leg at the 4x4 in 2021 at the Olympics. And I don't think she did well. I think somebody I think an athlete or two ran past her.
I don't think she did do a pioneer.
Training.
I think even the media was asking her if she's going to run a leg, and she said no. I don't think she did. I'm almost sure she did.
That was last year. That was at the World Championship last year. They asked her if she was going to run, and she said no. But I think, and I stand corrected, people. I don't know if I'm
All right.
You're not all age.
Somebody can make some checks for us still, but I doubt it.
Back to what you were saying. Back to your comment.
Yeah, but like I said, when you look at Nikisha Price coming in, I didn't like her semi-final.
Okay.
She didn't run her semi-final. She ran her heats perfect, and then in the semi-final, she showed some inexperience. She basically went out fast. She didn't try to run her own race. I think she tried to run someone else's race. I didn't like her semi-final, and then I was worried about when she was going to come into the relay. Stacey and Williams did well. I see a lot of people thinking that because Frankie Ball run past her, probably Frankie Ball would have run past anyone. She would have run past. She could run past anyone. Yeah, so that wasn't a big problem. I didn't confident in Nikisha Price. She was the person that I think could have done better. Even though she ran a lot of relays. Jenny Russell also, Jenny Russell, I think her split was good. But I
and you know, I never love our split.
Never love her.
Never love our leg.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, and that comes to mind as to why did they take Joanne Reid? Unless she's injured there, but I knew she was listed on the squad. She didn't run in the 4x4 mixed relays, and she didn't run in the heats, and she didn't run in the final. So it goes to me to say, why did they take her if they're not going to run her?
Can I ask a question though? And you know, really want to pressure nobody. I know the public have pressured a little girl here. But you're almost on the line and you feel ball coming. I don't know, just give me a last surge, give me a dive, give me something, show me some kind of heart.
Yeah, ask me. If I were to give Stacey Williams 10, I'd give her 8. I said this, Chris, I don't even remember me saying this in the group, Chris. After Femke Ball fell, I said there's a when you're running a 4x4, there's a difference between when you're the hunter and when you're the hunted. Dave, you see that 4x4 that Femke fell in the mixed 4x4 by the US athlete? If you reverse those roles, Dave, and put the US athlete in front of Femke, Femke is now the hunter and she's the one doing the chasing. I guarantee you, Dave, Femke would have run past that athlete. What happened to Femke could have happened to Stacey. What I was watching that race, Dave, and I watched it back. Stacey did everything she could. She kept firm, she stayed upright, she kept She tried to relax. She just got beaten by a superior athlete, Reggie. And we have to accept when those things happen, you have to just give it up.
And don't get me wrong, me know all of that. In my heart, me just kind of question, you know?
Pioneer, the big thing is if it could happen to Frankie Ball with Stacey and Williams. For it not to happen.
That's true. That's true.
Look at it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Good point.
When you look at, you want to look.
You see it? Yeah, man.
So the good we must praise Stacey because Stacey could have realized that she's going to come second and probably drop like ball. And now end up with no medal. And then Jamaica would have get mad again. So I want to praise Stacey and to keep the silver medal instead of getting none. Because Ball end up with none in that 4x4 mixed relay because she came under pressure, realized that she's going to lose, and she couldn't, and she basically tried what you said. She tried her art now, and she basically fall.
There you go.
So I'm happy that Stacey gave us that silver.
Oh, and big up Tuffy Rudy, you know. Tuffy Rudy, welcome forward, my brethren. Manners and respect.
I said, big boy.
All right.
Big boy. Yeah,
I
Demish
don't know
Gate
if
run a
you
good.
guys touched.
Go back to that pioneer. I want to
Yeah,
go back to that. Demish Gate did run a good first leg, He split 44 in his mixed relay too, But I think because of who coached him and the pressure that was in the camp, Demish Gate didn't get a leg.
and the 4x4.
Because he did split good in the 4x4 mixed relay.
Yeah,
He
people
split 44 something in the mixed relay.
that now look back on it and I season. I don't know. I mean, I just me dislike at the man and him current farm. Because there was that time we used to rate David Shea, but we just not think him in that farm there right now. But that's maybe just my bias. Saying, by the way, I am strong confirmed that Sherika Jackson did run in a leg of the 4x4 at the Olympics. And trust me, go back and look on it when you're done, when you come out for the show, look at it. She did not run well. And mind you, you could have argued that this was after she ran the 100. Remember, she had dropped out earlier in the 200 because I had a mess up.
Right, right.
Easier schedule. And then she had run both legs of the 4x1, and then she got run one leg of the 4x4 in the finals. And she did not do particularly well in that final.
I go watch that.
People run past her. If I know one or two persons run past her, and I was disappointed. I said, hold on. This is not Sherika at our 400 meter star, man. So, Chris, so you're suggesting that, and her, hinting of her going back to the 400 meter and automatically run 49.3 to get Lorraine Fenton.
I think she could run faster than Jenny Russell and a split. That's all I'm saying, Pioneer. You don't think so?
All right. In a 1.5 race, Chris, with maybe a week of training, I could see her do something in the 400. Maybe not national record, because everybody who knows track and field, so when you are trained for the 400, that groove and that strength that you have for the 400, you can't just automatically simulate that, move from the sprints and simulate that. It's going to take a little work. To me, you should have to work on it a little bit to get that. And in a 1.5 4x4 at a Diamond League meet, I probably could have seen her do a little something on her leg, yes. But to her breaking the record, and as Dave suggests, see her against Pauline or Dave, man. Come on, Dave, man. Pauline in the farm now. No, man. Come on. You ask a little bit too much from Sherika. I don't think that's so. She not there, so. That competition that we are going to see next year between Pauline, Sydney McLaughlin, I don't know what shape Miller Weaver will be coming back in. I don't know what.
NASA. I'm a NASA man, so don't left out NASA,
Exactly. Yeah, it's obviously and it improve and it's gonna be dear about Adele Kelly, pronounce her name, the young lady who goes to college in America and runs to Ireland. She, I think that is where the 400 meter is gonna be at. I think Sydney McLaughlin Lavon pull herself out this year. I can see her in intense training in the half season because she want to make a mark in the 400 meters. She feel like, listen, I am not running away left my 400 hurdles where I do amazing things and come at 400 meters. I'm not coming here to get beat. Then you see what happened to Attingmore. Persons were advocating for Attingmore pull out, and she come in a high quality field and get beat. Sydney McLaughlin never want that to happen. She want to maintain that superwoman status and that superior athlete status. Attingmore was brought back to earth. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everybody thought that there's no way Attingmore was getting beat. Now, look at her. Third, not even the silver medal, the bronze medal. Sydney
right.
She wants to. So, you don't think Sherika in that league there yet. She'd have to come out of the sprint, train for a season for the 400 meter. And I agree with her newfound speed and some training. She could definitely get somewhere there. But that 2% Jackson is still our best. Yeah, still our best at 400, but I think in the class at least. Gentlemen, let me quickly slide to some things, because the Diamond League starts in about half an hour, the Zurich Diamond League. So if we run from Budapest, skip across to Switzerland and get into the Zurich Diamond League. First race on the program that includes a Jamaican. And I don't know if you have a schedule in front of you, Chris.
No, but I have a schedule.
400 hurdles for men. That comes up at 104 Jamaica time, which is less than half hour from now, yeah? A little over half hour from now. We have Russian Clark going there, having done what he did, fourth place at the World Championship. Now he will be, lined up against a very, very, very good field. The world champion and the Superman, the Norwegian, Carson home in another place. We also have the Santos, who showed sign of his surgery and his previous injury in the World Championship final. We have Kyron McMaster, who ran very well for the bronze medal, for the silver medal actually, beating Ray Benjamin in that. We have Trevor Bass from the US. We also have CJ Allen from the US. And we have Apio from France and Bonpin from Switzerland. Tell me one thing about Clark's prospect. First Diamond League meet, Chris. Youngster, tell me what you look for from
him. Personally, I'm not pressure him. Just want him to go and run a fair time. If he doesn't come in top 3, wouldn't really pressure him still. His PR in the semifinals of the World Championship was pretty good. And I'm really sorry that he couldn't go anywhere near his PR for the finals, because had he done that, he would have medaled. But that alone should be very encouraging for him. I want him to go there and be competitive. He was able to beat people like the Santos in the what was that, the finals. So let us just, but not pressure him. Let's just hope that he goes and be competitive. For this year, I'm just allowing him to get experience.
Yeah, what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, very bright future for Russian Clark, obviously. But at this stage, I think it's good experience. He likes to race. I don't know what are they looking forward to, because sometimes at this stage after he just produce so much, basically he produce a lot because he PB in every round basically at the World Championship. So it's very hard to tell you what I'm expecting of him, because he cannot disappoint me based on what he does today, because he basically overachieved at Budapest. So I'm just looking for him to just basically turn up. Uh, I think he will probably he won't PB again. He won't PB again. I don't think he will PB again, but I don't think he will end up inside the top 3.
Right, the high 47s would be good. We think high 47s, the 47.9 today would be a good run for me. 47. Yeah. Still, it should still be at a high from that national record and fourth place at the World Championship. After he had a week to rest, don't know what the man them over Europe do, but assuming you should be training and going into a Diamond League, some money is at stake here. Here's an opportunity for him to continue patting up the kitty, so to speak, in the season. So should, for me, 47, 8, I'm probably finishing third. I mean, McMaster obviously in a good form. Probably for the third fight for McMaster. Obviously, War Home won't be beaten. Doesn't want to be beaten. So I think for me, anywhere in a top 4 finish, and if he breaks 48 seconds to me, is a big plus and a big boost. That's it. The second,
that's true.
It's on the calendar, gentlemen, is the women's 100 meters, and that includes our own Elaine Thompson era. Elaine Thompson era has not broken 11 seconds all season. All right. She'll be up against the world champion Shakari Richardson and a pretty good field. Natasha Morris and Sasha Lee Forbes, who beat her at the national trials, is there. Tamara Clark, the 400 meter specialist. Tonisha Terry is also a part of this. Zoe Hobbs from New Zealand and Kampongji from Switzerland is here. also Anthony Strong. Really, really, really good field. Competitive. I think Shakar is out of class here. But what, gentlemen, tell me what you guys looking forward to, or what you're looking, or you see for Elaine Thompson, and what you're looking.
Well, we don't know what kind of form Elaine is in right now. So, to be honest, I don't even really know what to expect. I just wish her well. Good experience for Sasha and Morrison. You know, I'm glad to see them getting some Diamond Leagues and hoping they, run good times. Maybe even PR would be good for them. Shakari should comfortably win this though, because I don't think Elaine is in any kind of form to threaten her at this moment. Plus, Elaine's Achilles seem to be still acting up here and there, and to move from the blocks is harder than getting a running start like she did in the Olympics, in the World Championship last week. So I'm not expecting a lot from her, but glad that she's in a Champions League, a Diamond League race also.
A reasonable time here. Tell me what would you think would be acceptable and reasonable? Tell me what you think would be an acceptable and reasonable time for her to run.
Say maybe 10-9.
10-9 flat.
I don't expect 10-8 or below that, since she hasn't gone inside 11 seconds in season. So if we get 10-9, I think. Gentlemen, let me take a call and come right back to you. Give me about 2 minutes. All right?
Chris, yeah. You're a girl Chris. You know, there's not many people who come to friends in the world. You never said Jamaica, in the world than you, Chris. Tell me, you see that go for your girl, Chris?
Yeah, I'm hoping everything is coming back to normal. Obviously, Paris is the focus as of now. And that Achilles, you have to really hope there, because Stephen Francis seems to be the only one who knows how to manage that Achilles. And I hope her new training coach knows how to manage the Achilles. But I would love to see her below 11 seconds today. If she really could go below 11 seconds today, it could tell us what type of form she was in. Because remember, she told us that it was an up and down season for her, and she basically was ready for the for our national trials. Basically 2 weeks before the trials. So hopefully we can really see her below 11 seconds and welcome back one of our sprint queens.
All right. Yes, 10-9, you say, Chris? All right. 10-9.
Anything below 11 would be really good. Good signs.
We have greater expectation than that. I saw her in the 4x1. I saw her speed. I see a little get up and go. Me reasonable things that 10. I've been saying that from I heard about her being included at Zurich Diamond League. I've been saying I think she'll run 10-8. I don't know if there's something there.
But Pioneer,
yeah.
From the first day I see Elaine, that's the one thing she always look like. She has good farm. So when you see the good farm, it can really trick you sometimes. And that's the thing with her. She's never going to look like she out of sorts. Her farm is good, and she always going to look. Even if she's not running fast, she look that way, just based on farm. She does look good running to me.
But I'm just comparing the speed I saw versus the other ladies. There was obviously some speed here, Chris, for me. I think she have 10-8 in her leg. I think the pressure of the trials and her not running well before the trials kind of took a toll on her mentally. I would know that Elaine is an athlete when her mental is right, then it shows in her performances on the track. I don't think she was in the best mental state at our trial. I think so she's a little bit past that now. I think she's gonna be running a little bit freer. How intimidated does she feel, or how pressured does she feel competing against Shaka Richardson. Your guess is as good as mine. But me I look for a 10, I look for a 10-88 from Elaine today. You know, it would be great. You see people like IB Strong at a 10-81. Welcome forward, Daniel Sims. It's a 10-85. Couple rules, you can't use release splits to judge. You shorter or longer than 100 meter plus, no big start. All right, no black start. Let's see. Tough road. As I said, me I go out for a limit at 10-88. So let's see. Make a quick slide through, Chris. The gentleman, I want to almost call them world champion, Chris, even though they didn't win the world championship. The gentleman in the
long jump.
The long jump. They will be on show today again. Let me see. It's all three in a long jump. Take a look.
No, I think two. Only McLeod and Taje.
That goes off at 124. Yeah, here McLeod and Taje here are gonna be in there. Then Tubler, the world champion will be there also. And some others from the finals of the World Championship. Should be a good one. For me, Chris, I think these guys should be beaming with confidence from their performances at the World Championship. I mean, I look for something good. I'm glad to see Tajay Gill, Chris, coming back on the up and up. I look for some great things coming for the rest of the team. It looks like he's getting healthy, and he looks like he's rounding back into form. I look for him jump. Good for the rest of the season. That's just what do you think?
Yeah, and like I said, it's good to see because you don't want you realize that the long jump is on the up now. So you don't really want when you go to our trials, you just make the team easily because you jump good in the season. You want it to become a trial. So on the day, you know if you don't perform because other people have the qualification mark and all of that, you won't make the team. So it's good to see Tajay getting back into form. And jumping again. So I am looking forward to see. Probably he's going to jump further than he did in the World Championships. Iman Carey. So let's see how they go up against the World Championship champion.
All right. That's something to look forward to, people. That comes up at 1:24 Jamaica time. Wishing our gentlemen the best. McLeod, you know, just missing out on a medal at the World Championship. Youngster, I'm sure that he'll be encouraged. I think this is his first Diamond League, Chris. This is supposed to be McLeod's first Diamond League. I've never seen him in Diamond League before.
Yeah, this is his first Diamond League. He's about to go. I think he probably didn't say it official, but he's probably about to go pro now. Obviously, he's done with school.
Why not?
So now he's about. I think he did his masters. So he did it last year at the NCAA. So I think he's about to go pro now.
All right. Very, 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 very promising. What these youngsters are doing, Chris, is very promising. And I think we're gonna have a very competitive. You mentioned trials, Chris. I think we're gonna have a very competitive trials next year. For me, Chris, I had a person who we never mentioned. A very, very, very outstanding performer, champion performer.
Daniel Williams.
Come on, not Daniel Williams. She didn't medal, the lady, and she didn't medal. But I think this was one of my Jamaican performers at the World Championship, and I'm speaking about none other than Adele Tracy. Breaking the national record in the 1500 meters. Not making it to the final. She didn't make the final of the 1500 meters. She broke the record in the heats, the semifinals. Barely missed out on making the finals. But coming to the 800 meter, which is a new event for her to be contesting at these media championships, running a PB to get to the semifinals, running a PB in the semifinals to get to the finals, and going to the finals and running another PB. I tell you, hats off this young lady. A warrior. This lady is showing the true Jamaican spirit, and trust me, I can't find enough words to say about it. The 800 meter, Chris, is an event that we have had participation in, has not had any success. We have long hope and wish for Natalia goal. A goalie she was at her best at it, but she didn't get the final. However, credit to Adele Tracy. Jamaican representation in the final, and she picked up it. Six, I think he finished sixth in the final. It is 6 or 5th in the final. Running creditably well. She's gonna be in the 800 meters at these Diamond League. She'll be going up against a really good field also. We have Laura Muir from Great Britain. We have Raven Rajat, who was a medalist. We have Nia Atkins from the US also. The world champion is not here. We also have Nakaya from Uganda, who is always thereabout. And our own Natalia Goldfish. So we have 2 Jamaican ladies in the 800 meter at the Zurich Diamond League. Tell me what you look for from either lady, Nicky.
Yeah, I think Adele must be feeling very confident to see that she really made the finals, and when she made the finals, she still come on PB. So I think she's very confident now. Natalia Gold on the other hand must be thinking that things didn't go as she would like, so she's looking to rebound here. But I expect both ladies to give accountable a good showing today.
All right. Goalie, for what it's worth, is a Diamond League goalie for me. We have seen goalie run some spectacular races in the Diamond League. I'm sure she will be, if I dare to say, hurting from not making the final of the World Championship. So it should be, she should be thirsty for some success. So don't be surprised if goalie goes out and win this one. I would not be surprised. With some of the bigger names not here, like Keely Hodgkinson and Mara, don't be surprised if Natalia Gould goes out and takes this one all for herself. It wouldn't surprise me because she's that kind of an athlete. Oftentimes disappointing on the big show, on the big stage, but when it comes on to Diamond League, she's gonna turn up and she's gonna perform on the Diamond League. Next event, Chris, with Jamaican interest is the women's 200 meter. By the way, the 800 meter people comes about 1:53 Jamaica time. That should be interesting. The next event, Jamaican interest people, is the women's 200 meters, and that will include the world champion, second fastest woman in history, Sharika Jackson. Chris, you spoke about her earlier, mentioning that she wants to go back to the 400. Having run, I think I heard a clipping this morning where she was saying, don't expect any world record. I don't know if that is coach's instructions. I don't know if she's just, lowering expectations to give us something spectacular. That would be interesting to see. But she's up against a decent field that includes mainly American athletes, and I'm going to give you some of the names that will be running alongside her. No one of great repute. So let me see. I don't think Gabby Thomas is here. Let me see who else is in this race with Sharika. This race comes up, by the way, people, at 4 minutes past 2. Of note, where the contender will be Jenna Prandini, who unfortunately for her didn't make the US team this year. Also, Amara Clark, who runs very good 200 meters. Tanisha Terry, interestingly, has chosen to run the 200 meters this time instead of the 100. Also from the US is Taylor White, good athlete. Antoinette Strong is doubling at this Diamond League. We had her in the 100 meter earlier. She'll also be running the 200 meter people. Daryl Nita, who I think has gotten better over 200 meter this year, will be running also. And Brittany Brown is also in the lineup. So very good field. However, I don't see anybody here that should provide any threat or any real competition for Sharika Jackson. I think she should have a cakewalk. Will she try and run fast? Your guess is as good as mine. As I said earlier, I heard her in a clipping this morning, lowering expectations, saying that don't expect any world record. So let's see how she goes in that one. And again, I said this event goes off at 4 minutes past 2, quite early in the program. The next event with Jamaican interest is the women's 100-meter hurdles. And this has a really, 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 really good lineup. You could almost say it's almost like the World Championships all over again. Charlton from the Bahamas, who have been, I saw her in the NCAAs all season, have been running well. From Bunji, the sister of Kambunji, the 200, the sprinter, is also, she was in the World Championship finals also. Danielle Williams, the reigning 100-meter hurdles champion, much to the surprise of many persons, came up big. Congratulations to Danielle, showing that she's a lion-hearted Jamaican warrior. All right, she will be trying to prove that her World Championship success was not a fluke. I'm expecting great things from Danielle, people. She goes in that one. Nia Ali, who was disappointing in the finals of the World Championships, hit a hurdle early and basically was out of contention. I am looking for her to try and seek some redemption here. Also seeking redemption should be Kenny Harris, who people continue to say, I don't know, she has been labeled a choker. Showed great form this early season. Looked like she was in form to probably attack the world record at the World Championships, but was beaten by Danielle Williams. I'm sure she will be seeking some revenge at this Zurich Diamond League. Also in the field, people, is Megan Tapper, who disappointingly for her this time did not make the finals at the majors this time. We know Megan Tapper. She's always one for the big time. Always there about, let's hope for the best for her. Also from the US is Tia Jones, very good hurdler. I've seen her early in the season. She looks good. And Alicia Johnson, who is also a very, very, very good hurdler. We also have the Polish lady, she's Kopa stuff in this series. So Danielle Williams going up against a very good field. We have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 6 ladies, 7 ladies in this field. This is a nine lane race, people. We have 7 ladies in this field who could be very competitive. Let's see how Danielle Williams goes in this one. All right. Should be very, very interesting. I thought the Puerto Rican Jasmine Camacho Quinn was going to be a part of this, but obviously she probably was withdrawn at the last moment. Also on the program is a men's 200 meters, and I think this is of interest. No Jamaican entries here, people, but of interest because it's a really, really, really good field. Noah Lyles, the reigning double world champion, won 3 gold medals at the World Championships. He will be, wanting to continue his good form this season. However, of note is that his countrymen and right and compatriot Knighton is also in the lineup. Welcome back, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm discussing the men's, and if you, for your sake, we can slide back up and go back to a couple of the events that I've done through before. Namely the women's 100 meter hurdle. But I'm looking at the men's 200 meter, Chris. Arian Knighton, silver medalist from the 200 meter, will continue to battle with Noah Lyles. Also in the field is Zaniel Hughes, who I'm sure would have been disappointed not to have gotten a medal over the 200. A lot of persons think the 200 is his better event, but not getting a medal in the World Championships might not be sitting very well with him. So looking forward to some fireworks there. Also in the field is Kenny Benerick and Andre DeGrasse, who is coming back from injury. Made the finals at the 200 meter. Did feature as one of the being Olympic champion didn't feature as one of the favored athletes this time, but we know of his injury troubles from early in the season, and I'm sure that he'll be using these races, to kind of get himself back into form going into the Olympics next year. So very good feel here, Chris. Aaron Brown, DeGrasse, Daniel Hughes, Noah Lyles, Knighton, and Benedict. Those are the big six in this race. I don't know. What you look for from Lyles, Chris? I think another attempt at the world record is on. The Zurich, for me, the Zurich 200-meter curve is probably one of the more favorable curves. So it'll be interesting to see what Noah will try on this track.
Yeah, anytime he's running a single race, it's always his best attempt to try and break the record because I know really and truly you will never see nobody break that record at championships where you have to do it, especially when they're doing 100 and 200 meter. They are not at that level. We know what rounds can do to your body. So I think if you think someone really and truly have a shot at Usain Bolt record, I think it's going to be a one race, a one half race. It's not going to be a championships where you run around. So anytime he runs these type of races, I think he must feel like this is his best shot. But unlike Bolt, now it seems like he needs people to run with him to put him under pressure if he's going to go close to the record. So I am hoping that he gets that from Zarnell, from his countryman Knighton, and see how it turns out. But like I say, I think he's easily the favorite to win. I don't think any of them is going to beat him.
Of interest for me is a 4x1. Let me look at this 4x1 and see if there's no. All right, so here's no, just a bunch of second tier countries. But you see, this is where there's a 4x1 that closes the program now. And this is where
Yeah, I see it.
watch this now. But let's look at this case, in realistically. Then Natasha Morrison is there, Sasha Lee Forbes is there,
Gillian Thompson.
Gillian Thompson. That's a relay team right there at the meet. This is where I think Jamaica would enter a team, and I'm sure that the organizers probably would pay.
Dreadful.
Yeah, man, I'm sure the organizers would pay to have a Jamaican team running that. I'm sure they would pay some appearance fees, some additional appearance fees to get such a strong Jamaican team running in a relay like this. And this is where we could use these relays as, button pass practice our button changes, get some competitive relay in. I think we're dropping the ball. I think we're taking this thing for granted, Chris. I mean, it's not the strongest relay teams on shore here, but I think Jamaica. I think that Jamaica could definitely, use something like this. We have Switzerland, we have Australia, not the best teams in the world. Austria, Finland, Netherlands, who probably we're gonna send a strong team. Portugal. But this is 8 teams, Norway, some European countries. But I think we could put a team here, Chris, and do something. But Chris, I want to go back to
we could have put Sherik on one of those curves and try her on one of those curves.
I think let's try something. Let's get running. Since people are insisting that she run the third leg, we're gonna try. This is where I think, this is where we're dropping the button, Chris. When we are allowed these kind of opportunities to pass. But Chris, before I was discussing the 100 hurdles with Daniel Williams and Penny Harris and others. Tell me what you expect from Daniel, having recently shot the world and on her second world title.
Yeah, this is where now Kenny Harris, man, Kamata Queens beat her.
Kamata Queen has been withdrawn, by the way.
Oh, Kamata Queen withdrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is where Kenny Harris beat her. This is Kenny Harris. She's a Diamond League bully.
Kenny Harris.
You talk about Natalia Gould being a Diamond League bully. If you look for Diamond League bully, I'm sure Kenny Harrison picture comes up.
All right.
So I can't see Daniel beating her now in this no pressure race basically. This is when Kenny Harrison really does well. But I think Daniel just comes out here to just while she talks about the record, so she seems like she's in good form. I don't ever saw that.
Jamaican record, her own Jamaican record. No,
No, she talked about 10-1, 12-1-2.
what? Really? No.
Yeah, so she was at the press conference for the Diamond League, and she was saying, "I actually dreamt that time. I dreamt I was going to run 10-1-2 before it was run." She said just that it was me was supposed to run it. So
Wow.
she seemed like she has motivation. The season is not all up and down for her, and she wants to win this race. So she looks like she's going to run fast again. But if I was a betting man, I would go with Kenny Harrison to win.
All right. I think I want to stick a little money from Penny Harris or Nia Ali. Nia Ali, considering that she's disappointed, she had some disappointment from 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 the Megan Tapper is in this race to Chris. Looking for a good one from Tapper. Ivy Strong, I said, well, we're release is next year before August Olympics. And let me tell you something, Ivy Strong. The talk that people have about coaches not wanting their athletes to be engaged in relay practices is a false notion. Stephen Francis, who is probably the most hard-headed coach and the coach that people would be thinking about in this field, has sent Shelley and Fraser to the Penny Relays in 2013. The Penny Relays, as some people say, is a nonsense meet and not even the best Jamaican high school athlete should go. He has sent her to the Penny Relays in 2019. He also sent her to the World Relays in 2015 when she was double Olympic champion and double world champion. As a matter of fact, she was triple world champion at that time, but she was back to back. Well, no, she hadn't gone to the world championship, but double world champion. She had one in 09, lost in 11, and won again in 30. So she was double world champion. But this is 2015 before the world championship by this track. All right, Shelley went to the World Relays. But that's not the only case. When Shelley was coming back in 2019, again being coached by Stephen Francis, she went to the World Relays again in Yokohama. So this argument that people have put up about coaches not sending their athletes to, that's not true. All right? J3s need to be proactive, organize these things. Get these training sessions that we mentioned in, liaise with the coaches, work out, be flexible, see how we can best facilitate the athletes participating in some relay practices. We need these relay medals, people. Seeing is a part of what brings us glory. I am still hurting from some of the relay losses we had last week in the World Championship. So coming to the Olympics, one mind will sweep all four relays, especially the 2-4 bar. All right, especially the ladies. All right. IB Strong says Diamond League stream started. So we're gonna sign off IB Strong. The race with Jamaica start at 4 minutes past 1. My clock is saying 4 minutes to 1. So we'll be signing off from the stream. It's a pity we can't do a watch along. Issues beyond our control, we can't do a watch along. Right? All right. So we'll probably be here doing a review maybe later this afternoon or tomorrow on this Diamond League meet. Go and give thanks to everybody who joined us today on the stream. We have some persons joining us here. Big up to Judith Williamson. Judith Williamson is saying 12-12, not 10-12. Okay, all right. We also want to big up to Jay Thomas, who kind of joined us here. We give thanks to the presence. We want to say, that's it, Cygnus Media. Bless yourself, Cygnus Media. Happy for everybody who was here with us today. We encourage you to continue to support the channel. I am sure sports, as you know, people, I can't say it enough, one of the most credible channels around. Continuing to give you, quality analysis on sports and covering a wide range of sports. I want to give thanks, Chris. Big up yourself, Bridging, for
Yeah, man, big up Pioneer.
time off. Mr. Say you're still at the job, on the job, saying that you're here with us. I want to enough respect to Dave, who was here with us early, saying, Cali Sinclair. Listen, Cali Sinclair, I always have a show on I Am Sure, man. I'm a resident analyst on I Am Sure. And when I'm not here, Cali Sinclair is because of family issues and personal issues. We have a business on the run that sometimes take out a lot of time. It's not a matter, it's not, not wanting to be here. It's just that sometimes duties call elsewhere, and we have to do what we have to do, But we give thanks.
Yeah, man,
Sure.
Pioneer and viewers. It was nice being here with you, Pioneer. You don't know.
Yeah, man, give thanks to Chris. Then respect my brethren. And we'll be here. The Diamond League season doesn't end, people. We have a lot of, I think the biggest one and the one I'm looking for the most is the one in Eugene that is going to be on the 16th and 17th, and that will be actually be the Diamond League final. I'm looking forward to some amazing performances here. But it's a Cali Sinclair, showing Maverick and the Dread. Long time we're big, man. Big up World and big up Harvey. Two of my bona fide judging them. They all listen to the banter when I hear and here. They all listen to how heated some of the discussions and the debates, Them two you they're still in the general, them and are still in the bona fide judgment, That's right, it's just radio vibration, So don't watch and listen when you hear it get heated, and sometimes it seems like, at it. It's just a part of the show, We want to give thanks to everybody, Then we give thanks for your presence, people. Like the stream before you go, please. And share the stream. And tell a friend that we are here and we're doing this. So next time we are here, you invite them over. So be a part of the discussion. So, come in at the comment section and to share your views and your analysis on what is happening, whether it be track and field, football, whichever the discussion. All right? We give thanks to your presence. This is I Am Sure Sports, and I am Pioneer, and bless. And we're off.